Con Stathopoulos and Josh Phegan come together in an incredible podcast, Grow, Scale, Master.
An energetic approach to drive progress, master skills, build strengths and put the strategy back into rapid business and personal success.
Backed by real-world experience in rapid scaling to playing the long-term game of business, it's the story of all the lessons learned on the journey to mastery.
Be inspired, renew your energy and chase the future with Grow, Scale, Master.
Con, I was just thinking about the power really of like the moments that matter. And this is a really important thing is that, people are afraid about, digital AI and technology and like for all of the different things that we've got to go and do. It's amazing like how far behind business actually really is in terms of the delivery of experience, but not actually understanding the moments that actually matter. Like, getting someone's name right, John. Like that's really, that's actually a really important thing. So when you're thinking about the moments that matter, I was thinking about like driving new customer experiences, and new customer experiences is about like better, faster, easier. And I think that like a lot of people have just not really thought that out. And they tend to think about add more where the best actually reduce and take out things. So then you only add really specific things that you actually want to need. So how do you actually work out the moments that matter? And one thing is about mapping out customer moments.
Yep.
And so like there's an old school thing where you go, okay, great. So someone's made a decision that I want to sell their house. Is that moment a happy moment, a neutral moment, a sad moment?
Yep.
Maybe it's a really happy moment, maybe it's a sad moment,
correct.
right? Okay, great. They're now interviewing agents, happy, neutral, or sad. Okay, great. They're now selecting an agent, happy, neutral, or sad. They have to ring the other agent and tell them they're not using them, happy, neutral, or sad. They're now getting their property photographed. And so you basically go through every single one of the components right the way through until, settlement day. And you say, okay, great. Is this potentially a happy moment, a neutral moment, or a sad moment? And there are definitely moments that are happy, aka we're sold. And there's definitely moments that we're sad, where like literally we haven't got an offer, it's been pulled from auction, like whatever the story is. And when you think about that, okay, great. If you know that moment's going to happen, then what can you do to get it there? And so manufacturing moments that happen. So the buyer coaching meeting, the auction reserve setting meeting might have a sad component to make sure that we land on happy component come auction day.
Yes.
So like really thinking through like what are the things and then thinking where the stress and the anxiety is. So if you think what we got to call like reducing friction moments. So I'm going to make an offer. Now there's two offers. I'm going to turn up to the auction and now all of a sudden there's two bidders. Like how do you actually get into a point where I can provide the one-page fact sheet on what to do if you're in a multiple offer scenario or what to do if you're in a position that you're about to change agencies and you're withdrawing your listing from sale. So that then that way people are really clear. And what you've got to think about is that you got to remove what customers no longer find valuable and you got to lean into what customers find valuable. And if you ask a customer, sometimes they don't know. But the difference is that literally if you get it right, then it changes everything about how you think about that business.
I think you said something there that was really important. Sometimes a customer doesn't know. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe is the opportunity for us.
Which Steve Jobs said, no one ever said, hey, I want something to go in my pocket.
Spot on.
1,000 songs.
That's exactly right. So think about the problem that we're trying to solve here. Which
most of us were worried about how you're going to carry the CD wallet.
Well, you exactly. But I used to have one, by the way.
Yeah.
I had like 100 CDs. It was amazing.
Yes.
Show off. But just think about, no, they're all like burn.
Yes.
Remember when you used to burn CDs?
No, I don't.
but think about the problem that you're trying to solve.
Yes.
Which part of the equation, buyer, seller, landlord, tenant, internal, external, whatever it might be.
Yes.
And then think about, you're absolutely spot on, those moments that matter, but think about those micro moments that may not matter so much, but the accumulation of those end up mattering. I know it sounds a bit cryptic, but think about this. Think about the way we greet people at an open home.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times it's someone looking down at a phone saying name, number, check in, postcode, thanks, been here, here's a brochure, there you go, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if we just mix that up a little bit. Imagine if we made it easier on, have you bid at auction before, or the first home buyer's guide, or here's a downsizer's guide, or whatever it might be. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. And also too, like finding like these little micro moments that continue to live on.
Yes.
So I'll give you an example. I've got like a really amazing running jacket. And it's done by a cult brand called District Vision. And when you open the jacket, the inside there's a label, but on that label it says Centre for Inner Peace.
Centre
for Inner Peace.
I like that.
And so when you unzip it and you go to put it on,
straight away.
the first thing that you read every time you go for a run
moment. You just got it.
Is like that Centre for Inner Peace, and it just reminds you of what I'm doing and why I'm here, and
it brings you back
purpose.
Yeah,
and it's fascinating to go to watch. So one of the things that like what we're good at is that like someone in your business will come up with a great idea. I don't know, door stops at an open home.
Sure.
Right. And so then they produce 100 door stops and they take it to every single open for inspection and they give one to the vendor and they make sure that they've got it there and everything's right. But how do you go to scale that thinking across service lines? Because I had an agent who sent me a message. He said, hey, look, I was at an open for inspection on Saturday. It was a property that they're looking to sell, a property that is also available for lease. And we went there to have a look. We might lease it, we might buy it. We're just not sure. And it's like $3,500 a week or circa $5 million property. And the person who turned up didn't have access to all of the house, turned up late, didn't turn on lights, he just had a bit of a look through, didn't know some answers to some basic questions. Like, how does that still happen inside of like a property management sphere and or a sales sphere?
I just sighed because it does happen, because it's really about care, right? I mean, we just went, Emily and I and my kids, we went to where we normally go every year for a beautiful lunch. We recorded the last podcast just before we went, right?
Yeah.
And that, I won't name the restaurant, but that experience though was subpar to every other experience that we'd had there.
Yes.
So all it did was diminish. And this is an expensive.
Do you think that everyone else has stepped up and
yes,
and therefore and they haven't maybe raised?
That is exactly why.
And I just got to think about like scaling across service lines from sales to PM and PM
correct.
sales.
That's exactly right. But I think people have kind of either become complacent, Josh, or they've fallen into the trap of comfort.
Yes.
I don't need to turn up to the open home 10 minutes earlier to be able to make sure the aircon's on, it's comfortable, and I've got access, I've got the right keys, or you know what, I haven't actually done the prep on Friday to make sure that Saturday is ready to go. I think it can be as simple as that too.
So how do you then scale thinking across your geographical locations? Because when you're at one office at Parramatta, that's probably a bit easy.
Yeah.
Pull everyone around the team huddle or cuddle, I think you called it.
Yep.
But like
Cuddle,
and as that starts to get bigger, like, is that making sure that, that every business has got a business owner in it that literally that is driving the foundational things to pick things up? Is it about like really explaining to people this is why we do what we do
Correct.
when we do it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's that repetition of what our vision is, what our mission is. It actually starts out, who we attract into our brand, into our business, to be able to make sure that they're aligned with the way that we think. And then it's also, the people that want to and are willing to adapt and adopt a new way of doing or thinking or learning or unlearning. I know there's a lot of words out there, but really it is the culmination of right people, right time, right strategy, but being able to zig when you need to zag and zag when you need to zig, because market conditions change, and what we might think is the right approach when it comes to an experience, we learn by the actual experience. We don't always get it right, but the beauty about, I think, in our business is that we have a learn-it-all culture, not a know-it-all culture, and we're willing to adapt. And I think that that's the key here, is that the bigger you get, the more people and the likelihood of more friction and complexity pops in. Our role really is to ensure that people are all on the same page about what the actual mission is that we're trying to achieve. So for us, it's very simple. It's to make a dream come true every hour. So if we help someone buy, sell, lease, or rent a property every hour on the hour, we will ultimately hit all of our goals. And so we've condensed it down, and that is repeated. You're our coach.
Yeah.
It's Monday morning team meetings. It's, in every office, on every wall. It's at our onboarding sessions. We start off every one of our training sessions. Every time we have an audience, we're reminding them what it is that we're doing, because that leads then. It's like this. If I'm walking into your home and there's something on the floor, piece of paper, I'm going to lean over and pick it up. I'm not going to wait for the cleaner to come, or does that make sense?
Of course it does.
It's about standards, right?
Yeah, and so interesting enough, sometimes it's the smallest little things that make the biggest difference.
Absolutely.
So we've got an organisation that we've worked with over 7 years that's scaled from 50 people to 550, and they're in one office.
Wow.
Okay.
I think I know who they are.
What's the biggest issue? Retention.
Yes.
How do we fix retention? Name badges.
So people can identify each other and build a culture. And
I remember the CEO looking at me and he's like, "What do you mean name badges?" I said, "I bet you the biggest issue is no one knows anyone's name."
Yeah, it's gone so big so quickly.
And then get this, not only do they not know each other's names, then when you're in a room, there's that guy or that lady.
Yeah.
And so that's a problem. And so sometimes it's the smallest things that make the biggest difference in business. And so don't always think that you have to go to the extreme. And I'm like, okay, as an agent, you want to get known. You want to get your name out there. Hot tip. wear a name badge on Saturdays at opens and auctions.
Yep.
And it's not hard. And if you're lucky enough to speak multiple languages, have the flag of that language on your name badge.
Completely agree.
Because I just think that, like, if you know that you can speak Greek or Italian or, you know, Chinese or whatever it is, like, that is just an awesome skill.
Yep.
And the lesson here is that literally to keep on thinking about this, you're never going to be done reminding people. And so there's an old school saying, the 14 times rule, that sometimes people got to hear something 14 times before they'll hear it for the first time.
Wow. Yeah.
And so, like, literally there's a difference between, oh yeah, I kind of get that, to really understanding and mastery and being able to say, hey, that's actually how I got to live my life.
Experiences that rapidly shaped you.
Con, the big one for me, name the strategy.
Yeah, well, we do this and I love it.
What's your favorite? Like, have you got a name of a strategy?
Well, we've got Landlord Love, we've got
Nice.
Back to the Future, we've got September to Remember, we've got Feb Phone Frenzy, March Madness, Super Saturday.
I got KJT.
Yeah, Keep Josh Talking.
That was cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
Another one called The Swift, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you told me about that one.
Yeah, and I wanted to get Margot Robbie in there, but my team wouldn't allow me to do it.
But you know what? I'm stealing your thunder here now. You know what? It's so important because you've now created an emotion around it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
And so once you've done that, now you know KJT, Keep Josh Talking. People in your organisation now know we need to basically clear the path for Josh to be able to do what he does best.
Yes.
Something that's changing your view.
Con, what people will do to chase a $50 annual recurring transaction is amazing.
What do you mean?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this story.
Yeah.
So I've got a vehicle, and in New South Wales, once a vehicle's over 5 years old, you have to go for a pink slip, which is like a roadworthy.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, great. So went down the local garage in Balmain last year. It's the first year. And I said, oh, guys, can I get a pink slip? And the guy goes, yeah, no problems. We'll get that sorted for you. It's an e-safety slip now.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, great. And so, like, literally, he goes, how long have you got? I said, oh, mate, I can either go home or I can just go for a quick walk to the coffee shop. He goes, mate, go for a quick walk to the coffee shop. We'll have it done for you. Everything's fine.
Sweet.
All done. Anyway, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, around Christmas, New Year, little SMS comes through. Hey, Josh, don't forget your car rego runs out next month.
Oh, smart.
Click on this little link here and you can book in to get your e-safety certificate organised.
Right.
So I clicked it, booked in, chose the calendar, chose the time. Right? And then the day before, another SMS, don't forget, Josh, look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Plus the Google Calendar invites come. On the morning of, at 7 a.m. before 8 o'clock, mate, looking forward to seeing you at 8 o'clock this morning.
That's so cool.
As I walked in this morning, they're like, hey, Josh, good to see you. They've obviously read the rego on the car.
Yeah.
And then off the back of that, they've done the sleep. And I'm like, okay, great. And it's all sorted. And I said to him,
$50.
And then I walked away, and then I got the SMS after, hey, can you quickly add the review on Google, which I happily did. And I was just like, wow. And I said to the guy as I was paying, I said, hey, thank you so much. Like, by the way, your booking service is unbelievable. And he goes, can I tell you what our biggest problem is? I said, what's that? He goes, the number of people that book and never turn up.
Oh, really?
Isn't that phenomenal?
Yeah, right.
Like he said, whether it's for a car service at a more expensive level or this most basic of services.
Yeah.
But you know what I love is the level of detail around the smallest experience that levels up, therefore, to the most expensive. And if I was going to have a mechanic, I would have or you had mechanical issues, I'd have no problems recommending them.
Correct.
Because of how they do the small things.
Love that.
Now, I go, there's a convenience store in Double Bay, and occasionally I'll go in there and buy a bottle of water or whatever on the way through.
And it costs you $50.
No. The guy, I don't think, has ever looked up from his screen because he's watching international sport or something. He's never said a word.
Yeah. But see, that's transactional, which is also your eSafe certificate as well. That's transactional.
Yes.
But now they've made it into an experience, so then that way they can almost guarantee their future revenues.
And that's where the whole conversation is that, like, literally be there for the moments that matter, use someone's name, be really open, smile a lot, have really good quality
Pretty
energy.
easy.
And I just think that, like that, you know, like imagine you say a little mantra every morning that you read. Am I smiling today? Am I living as though it's my last day on earth? Have I got really good quality energy? Am I learning how to be in the moment? How can I be as helpful to as many people as possible?
Love that.
Like if you just did that.
You're going to win.